So now we're taking that idea of palm muting on the 6th string only, and we're moving from 7 to 5 to 3 on the 5th string. So we're using those 3. And what I'm doing is I'm simply trying to palm mute twice in between each one, so it sounds like this. Okay, so I'm going 7, 3, 5, 3, 5. And every time I'm putting in 2 palm mutes. So you're visualizing 7, 3, 5, 3. Okay, 7, 3, 5, 3, 5. Okay? The other thing to remember is that when your palm mute comes down to palm mute that 6th string twice, that's a great opportunity for you to stop those strings and move to the next place. So you're really doing 2 things at the same time. Okay? So let's break that down nice and slow, and I want you to try and play along with me at this point. Okay, so you should have this written down by now. You're doing 7, 3, 5, 3, 5. You're doing the 2 palm mutes in between each one. Okay, so remember, visualize it out here. Think about what it is that you want. If you haven't quite memorized it, pause the DVD, visualize it a little bit, think about it. Okay, if you've got it visualized, then the second part is you have to make sure that you've been practicing your bouncing, moving your chords back and forth. Okay. So you're visualizing, you've memorized, you're practicing your bouncing, and now what we're doing is we're putting the whole sequence together with that palm muting. So nice and slow here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it would start all over. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. So again, breaking it all down nice and slow. Chart it out if you need to. Think about where you're going, right? 7, 3, 5, 3, 5. Okay, 7, 3, 5, 3, 5. You're thinking about those 2 palm mutes in between. And remember, the rhythms might throw you for a little bit of a loop because everything isn't straight, right? Everything's in groups of 3. Strum, mute, mute, strum, mute, mute, strum, mute, mute, strum, mute, mute. That's the idea. So the slower you take it, the more you can wrap your head around what you're actually trying to do. But just like so many other things that we've done, it's important for you to understand that so much of it begins with you understanding up here what you're trying to do. Okay? The physicality of playing comes later, but the first thing you need to do is understand what you're trying to accomplish. If you're having a problem with something in particular, for instance, if you're trying to do this but your palm muting isn't being very successful, you go back to the segment where we're talking about palm muting and you work on that. So each little part, remember how you're making your power chords. Okay? Remember to deaden the strings underneath, all those different kinds of things. So hopefully that gives you another little idea to keep focusing on. Keep practicing as much as you can, and let's move on to the next one.